Hey YouTube, it's first time video and first time channel, which is highly exciting for me. I've always wanted an above ground swimming pool, and the pandemic of 2020 made me realize that now's probably the time to get it, because we were sitting at home not doing much. So having made the decision, I tried buying a pool with various components, tried to do some research on heaters, filters, pumps, chemicals, locations, decisions, etc., and realized it's not that simple. So I spent quite a few hours and days actually researching things and ordering things and getting it wrong and getting it right. But I think that now I figured out which parts are important, and I'm happy to kind of share that with you, which is why I've made this YouTube channel. And I hope that you kind of get the right information, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have as well. So here goes. Um, Behind me is a 16 by 10 foot Bestway swimming pool, and it's I think 42 inches high, so it's great for kind of adults and children. Probably one of the considerations you first want to look at when you are looking to buy an above ground pool is the size of the swimming pool. So I think they kind of start from 8 to 10 foot round, and then you've got various round shapes, various oval shapes, various rectangular shapes made by Intex and Bestway, which are the largest suppliers of these pools. They all seem to go together in similar way. They're kind of a metal frame or an inflatable ring, and it's pretty easy to put them together, but there's lots to consider when you are looking to buy one. So once you've decided on the size, I would then look at a couple of different considerations, and they are the ground level, which is the ground level where you're going to place it. So has your garden got the capability of actually placing it level? In the instruction manual of a swimming pool, you will find that it states you have to place it level. Often, if you're going to put it on the grass, it's not going to be exactly level, but it's good enough if you're kind of 1 or 2 degrees off. But you definitely don't want to be putting it on a slope, because what you'll find is that one side will be higher than the other, which isn't great at all. I'll show you that in my pool later on. The next thing you kind of want to consider is power, access to power sockets. You are going to need them. And it needs to be relatively close by. You don't want to be running one of these swimming pools on a extension lead. It's just not really feasible to, and they take quite a lot of power. So I would consider having your pipe work close to a wall with power nearby. So the next thing I'd consider is walk around space. You kind of want to be able to access the entire swimming pool all the way around it. You want to be able to walk all the way around it to check, if there's any maintenance things to do, like leaks. You want to have space to hide your filters and your pump and your heaters and your pipe work, which can be quite long depending on how many runs you have and how many heaters you want to go for. So you've got your walk around space there, so make sure that obviously you don't tuck it up right into a corner, whereby if there's like a leak or something and you need to access one of the side walls, you can't get to it. The next thing which you want to look at is whether the pool will be in the shade or the sunshine. Too much sunshine is probably could be quite dangerous for you or your family or your kids, because you've got to keep lots and lots of sunscreen on, and too much shade might mean it's too cold. So it's kind of a personal decision, depending on what you kind of do on holiday, if you think about it like that. Also, what you want to consider is that how close are any trees to kind of keep debris off the pool. Like we actually have these trees up here, which are conifers, and they shed quite a lot. So last summer we had a 12-foot round swimming pool, which was shunted over that way, and it was pretty close to those trees, and unfortunately little bits and pieces just kept falling into the pool and falling onto the cover when the pool was actually closed, and it got pretty annoying. So I would suggest keeping it in some open space if you have, but it's not a necessity. It can be near something. You just have to, it's just a little bit more maintenance. One of the other things you want to consider is access to a draining point, when you've got, you know, anywhere between sort of 5,000 and 20,000 litres perhaps in a swimming pool of chlorinated water, chemicals in there, you don't want to be just draining it onto the grass. So you might want to consider where the drain outlet is on the swimming pool versus where your drain is, and how you might drain the pool at the end of the season or when you're finished using it. And sometimes, you know, if you need to drain it mid-season. There's going to be other safety conditions or safety considerations depending on your personal situation, your personal garden. You know, there could be a set of stairs nearby, which means that this could kind of block some access. There could be a wall nearby, which you got to just, you know, be careful of. It could be anything, but I would strongly consider, you know, making sure that you're risk-free when you're kind of placing this pool. You don't want to be near like a low wall where kids can kind of run onto it and then perhaps fall in by mistake or fall onto the cover, because that would be a disaster. Or if you've got pets, you know, you don't want the pets to be curious and trying to walk on top of the pool, or even jump on it. So here we go. That's our first video done. Thank you, and hope you like listening to that. In the next videos, I will be covering what you need, how to choose your pool, how to choose your filter and pump, what pipework you'll require, what kind of heaters are recommended versus, you know, it's quite difficult to kind of understand the heating world of swimming pools. I'm going to try and keep it as simple as possible. What other items you need, you know, chemicals, ladders, ground mats, top covers, bubble covers, and your vacuum and your nets and your skimmer, and, you know, all the little bits and pieces which sometimes you don't really get as one package when you go and buy one of these pools. So I hope you like the next videos coming up. Thanks.